Hey y'all, last night was a close one. Utah had quite a bit of opportunities to get to 118 in the last 2 minutes and change. But at some point, streaks have to come to an end so that new ones can begin. And that's what we're going to do. Please make sure you like and share and subscribe to my channel so that whenever I drop a video, you can be notified. If you enjoy my bets, you enjoy my videos, you can always leave a tip with my PayPal, my Cashapp, or my Venmo, all in which can be found at the bottom of this screen as well as in the description box. All right, now today's game we're going to look at will be a repeat of Tuesday's matchup, the Bucks versus the Raptors. On Tuesday, the over was 236, which we hit by 1 point, 237. But something very important happened in that game. Kyle Lowry injured his ankle towards the end of the second quarter. He tried to come back the third quarter, played maybe a minute or two, and he was out for the rest of that game. Right now, he's listed as questionable. So, we'll keep an eye on that and see whether or not he plays or he doesn't play. Toronto, right now, is averaging for the last 3 games 114 points, which is their season average. And meanwhile, Milwaukee is giving up 11 more points a game in the last 3 than their season average, which to me, looking at the facts that Toronto plays better away and Milwaukee is struggling defensively, that looks good for, another high-scoring night for Toronto. Milwaukee is still number 2 in points scored at home at 121. Now, even though right now they're still, they're averaging 112 a game, which is, off from their 120. They were just coming off of a away stand, which is, impacting that. And in the fourth quarter of Tuesday's game, they had a 2 or 3 minute little period there where they couldn't get the ball in the basket. But you take away those couple of minutes, they played very well offensively. Now, to me, these two combinations, the points allowed and the points being scored for both teams, suggests that there's going to be another rip and run high scoring game, even if Kyle Lowry doesn't play. Like I said, he left the game in the beginning of the third quarter, and without him, Toronto still scored 60 points in that second half, which is a very good sign that, even if they miss their third leading scorer, they can still put up points. Van Fleet, who was the leading scorer for Toronto, and I believe the game, he had a spectacular game. He's a guy that loves to push the pace. So I suspect and I expect that he's going to have a similar performance tonight as well. Powell, who was, looking at Powell, I feel like he was relatively quiet. But, he had a good shooting percentage. If I'm not mistaken, he was like 4 for 7. And he wasn't even that aggressive. So to me, if Lowry doesn't play, I expect to see him be a little bit more aggressive, which bodes well for Toronto. Because unlike Lowry, he's more of a explosive, take you to the basket guy as well as can shoot the 3. So he could get a couple of and one opportunities, which will, which will be good to get more points on the board. Siakam should have a better shooting night. He didn't shoot as well. He did, get over his average, but I like to see him that average shoot up a little bit better. With Baines not starting the other night, that also helped with the pace of the game. And I would suspect that even if Lowry doesn't play, I would not be surprised if they inserted Boucher. Boucher is shooting the 3-point shot at a 40% clip, and he can, stretch out the floor. as well. So Lopez either going to have to step out to guard him, or Portis may have to step out and guard him, or he's going to knock down the three. So either way, I think don't be surprised that if he doesn't start, he see 29, 30 minutes like he did the other night. For the Bucks, Giannis had another MVP night. He had a high shooting percentage. He was two assists away from a triple-double. And I expect to see a similar performance from him because, let's face it, Toronto isn't a defending team. They're not like one of the best defenders in the league, and they really don't have anybody on that team that can guard him. Middleton had 9 points off. Well, he was 9 points off of his average. He had about 11 points. And I think tonight we're going to see him get a little bit closer to that average, especially, with all the pressure on Milwaukee after this four-game losing streak. So I expect he'll step up. And if we look at the matchup between Lowry being out and Anunoby being back, it's just a faster pace. So Anunoby will be able, since he's back now, he'll help to make up those 17 points you lost for Lowry. Now, with all that being said, let's get into the players I need to see play before I can take this bet. For the Bucks, I need to see Giannis, Middleton, and Bobby Portis. For the Raptors, I need to see Van Fleet, Siakam, Powell, and Anunoby. Now, one thing to factor in is Jrue Holiday is not expected to play. He's still out indefinitely. If that changes, I'll let everyone know, because if he does play, that will change my bet. Right? Now that we got that out of the way, the bet that I will be taking for today will be the Toronto Raptors versus Milwaukee Bucks game total over 233.5. If it goes up or down a point or two, I still like it, as long as everyone that I mentioned above is still able to play. Now, that does it for today's bet. Good luck betting. And remember, never bet more than you can afford to lose. I'll see y'all tomorrow. And let's make sure that today starts a new streak. See y'all tomorrow.